Hello, everyone. Welcome to our team call. So excited to have a very special guest with us tonight. Rachel is someone that I've admired pretty much from afar for a long time. Rachel, who's your upline coach?
The fabulous Melanie Mitro.
With Melanie Mitro. I thought so. And we were able to meet and touch face-to-face in person in Arizona at Leadership, and we got to just kind of connect, and I was able to speak to her team last week. So I was like, ASAP, I want you on our team call. And I'm so excited to just hear the wisdom that she has for us. She's been coaching for 5.5 years. So she knows something about consistency, not only staying in the game, but doing it well, showing up, and really working her business as unto the Lord. So she is a wife to Matt of 15 years. Congratulations. That's amazing. She's a mom to Henry, who's 11, and Milo, who's 9. Like I said, coaching for 5.5 years was just incredible. She's a Success Club legend, lifetime 5-star, currently 1-star. She's Premier 2017 and has been elite the last 2 years. I don't think I realized that you hit elite 2020, so this year, right? Congratulations to that too. Amazing. So just a testament to her, not only her personal business, the women that she's serving, but she's leading a team of servers who are out there helping people, raising up leaders, and it's just a beautiful thing. So I'm going to turn it over to you, and we can't wait to just hear from you. Thank you so much for taking time away from your family to hang out with us tonight. So on to you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Patrice. I love that this business is made up of women all over the place who are just building their own little legacies right where you are. And I love that, especially to connect with teams that are faith-based, because I did not come into a faith-based team. I came in as somebody who needed health and fitness, who needed a solution. I found it through the 21-day fix. I found my coach's meal plan, joined her challenge groups, and then essentially just joined as a coach at the prompting of the Lord, even though I did not want to. But I just really felt like I was supposed to do this. And at the time, I didn't know why. I didn't know what God had in store. And today, like, obviously so much has happened. And I just say all the time, he goes before us. He goes before us. He goes before even we have a clue what we're doing. He goes before our conversations. He goes before our content. And you guys, like, it's just that total reliance upon him. If he called you to do this, and I think we even use that term too loosely, called, but I really and truly feel like I was called to do this. And he just continually, day by day, unfolds what his plan is. And it's always a surprise to me. But I am not, Patrice brought the fire. She brought the scripture to my team last week. I'm so thankful. They were so encouraged by you. But she asked me to speak to you guys tonight about this crazy time that we live in. Like, I was texting some of my girlfriends tonight. We have this little pod, and I was like, unprecedented times. There is a ship called Comfort that is a hospital that just pulled up into the harbor of New York. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? And we live in a crazy world, and we are at the hands of our Creator. But I also believe that he gave us our businesses for such a time as this, and instead of shrinking back, I feel like I truly believe that he has called us to be bold in proclaiming hope and joy, but also sharing the business that he has essentially dropped in our laps, every single one of us. I can almost guarantee that, like, 5 years ago, you didn't see yourself doing this, what you're doing today. But I do believe that we are here to light up social media, to be hope and joy, and share scripture and share just Jesus with the world, you guys. Not just Jesus, but to share Jesus with the world. And we get to do that through what we're doing here. So I am going to come at you very much with some very practical tips for your business, and encourage you to just show up and start right where you are. Whether you're a new coach, you've been doing it for a while, it doesn't matter. Just take what you've been given today and be an encouragement to people in your squares, in your social media, where you're at. So I do have slides because I am very much a teacher. My background is I'm a college history and political science instructor, and coaching allowed me to leave that full-time job and go very part-time. So I'm thankful for that. But I do like to teach, and I do like to share what I have learned. So I'm going to talk to you guys tonight about how to stay focused and how to run your business during this time. And I always, share this, like, take it with what you will. This is my advice. This is where I am at very prayerfully in my own business. And I want you guys to definitely, I mean, this is a very individual business. So, like, definitely take what I'm going to say, but I have tailored this so that it applies to anybody, any business, anywhere. All right. So I love this quote, and it really applies to what I'm going to share with you guys tonight. I really want to encourage you, like Albert Einstein says, strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. And that is what our businesses are all about. Yes, we can be successful coaches. I've hit Success Club every single month. I have been a coach in 5.5 years. So I am here to tell you, you can be successful. You can be very successful in this business. My team has hit 5-star elite 2 years in a row. We've been premier the year before that. There's a lot of like worldly success to be had in this business, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't think we can be successful in any way, shape, or form if we're not serving people. And that's what we've been given to do in this business. And so I kind of want to talk to you guys really quickly. I don't know if you guys have, if anybody has read the book Relationomics. It's a very good leadership book, but I've read it recently, and these two terms really just stuck out to me, and it really is applicable for where we're at today. Are you a value creator or a value extractor? And I think that you can be one, can be both things at the same time. I think you can be either or as a coach. A value creator is someone who gives more than they take. And right now, we are called to be salt and light, as always, but especially, you guys, the world is just scared, afraid, especially people who don't have faith, who don't have that hope in Christ. Like, they are afraid. And I'm excited that we have this opportunity to encourage people in that way, first of all. But we also have been given what I say coaching is a platform, is a kind of segue into sharing our faith. Maybe people will connect with us first through health and fitness, and then we get to share our faith with them. But I think that we have so many opportunities to be value creators, which means that we give more than we take. There are also value extractors, and I'm going to encourage you not to be a value extractor right now. And that is someone who is only here to sell, only here for self, only here to hit a goal and move on. Can you be successful that way? Probably, but not long term, and it's not going to be fulfilling, and it's definitely not going to help people. But I'm going to encourage you to be a value creator while you're also going after those goals that you have for your business. And first of all, I think that what being a value creator starts with is just integrity, being genuine, sharing your story truthfully, and not inviting anyone to do something that you are not doing yourself. This is very much an integrity-based business. I cannot sell a challenge pack if I'm not doing the workouts, and I'm not drinking Shakeology, and I'm not following the meal plan myself. Like, that is just not truthful. And if I am not doing it, I'm not going to be confident. If I'm not confident, I'm not going to be excited. If I'm not excited, I'm not going to get people to do it with me. Okay. So I want you guys, first and foremost, every single day when you pull out your business activity tracker, I want you to share boldly, confidently, and I want that to be rooted in what you're doing for yourself. That goes first. That's the foundation, right? Of what we do as coaches. But I want to encourage you right now, especially, always, but especially you guys right now, look for genuine ways to create relationships. Everybody in the entire world is going through the COVID-19 pandemic. You don't have to show up on social media to start a conversation, to connect with someone. You don't ever have to show up right now and think, what am I going to start a conversation about? Like, we're all going through the same thing, and we're all feeling different things. Some of us are hopeful. Some of us aren't really afraid. Some of us are scared. Some of us have, and we just found out today, our neighbors across the street, they both have the virus, right? That's like really, like, this is the first time in the last 3 or 4 days when it's even shown up in our neighborhood, and it showed up across the street, right? So, like, if you're afraid, it's okay. Like, share what your struggles are, but be real, be honest, be yourself, and above all else, like be interested in other people. Okay. And I'm going to talk more about that in just a minute. But starting genuine relationships, you know, obviously, I'm sure Patrice has taught you, I'm sure your coach trainings have taught you, you got to be posting, you got to be finding new followers, you got to be doing all that stuff. It's just a given. So spend time every day finding people to connect with, you know, posting on social media. I'm going to talk a little bit about posting, but I feel like the heart and soul of my business and what has allowed me to see the success that I have seen is that I've always focused. I can't say always, that's not true. That would be a lie. But like, I think that the majority of the time I have focused on people. And when you are remembering that there is a person on the other end of that like computer screen, on the other end of that Instagram message, on the other end of that post that you're making, who is reading this, and you really focus on investing in people and you start those genuine relationships, you're not going to have any trouble with the business goals. Okay. But here are my best tips for you guys for starting real relationships. In your posts, ask questions. In your stories, ask questions. When I say be more interested in other people than you're focused on being interesting, let people know through your posts, through your content, through it all, that you are actually interested in who they are. You know, and I'm not encouraging you to use your faith to just for business building. But if we're offering to pray for people, if you make a post that says, how can I pray for you? If you make a question box in your stories that says, hey, I know life is hard and you're probably afraid, or you might be struggling with something. If I can pray for you, will you please let me know how? Because people are going to respond to that. People want hope. They want truth. They are seeking what we know we can only find in the Lord, right? And so like when you are offering to build relationships, make sure that your heart is in it, that your soul is in it, and that you're going to make good on that promise to pray, right? But I do this often. If I ask a question, I respond when people respond. If I offer to pray for people and they type something really hard in that prayer box, even though I can't relate to it, they're going to get a message from me and a prayer from me, right? And so people know that you care when you show up to care. Another thing is that messaging viewers and new followers. This is this is like, if I don't do anything in a day, like I am going to connect with some people. I'm going to message people who view my stories, and I'm going to message people who are new followers. Because social media is a social platform. People come ready to connect. We don't have to be afraid to start conversations on a social media platform. All right. So message those people who are your viewers, message your followers, and just continue to show people that, hey, I'm not just here for Rachel. Like, I'm not just here to make much of myself. I am here to serve people and to encourage you. And I am constantly reaching out to people, especially during this time. You know, your views may be up. Your likes may be up, your followings may be up. They may not be at all, but it doesn't matter. Connect and support the community that you already have while you seek to grow it as well. And during this time, people are not going to connect with like perfect sweaty selfies or a perfect body or something like that, or a hey, join my challenge group. People are going to connect with the real life stuff. So even if it is a sweaty selfie, talk about life. Talk about how, you know, your kids are home, or you're used to a schedule where you get up and you go to a job and you know, you're just out of your routine, and how off that feels. People are going to connect with that more than if you say, oh, 5:30, my alarm went off, I got up, no problem, like life is good, right? So, you know, just make sure that during this time you are shifting your content to reflect your reality. And everyone's reality right now is a little bit different, all right? Another thing, when it comes to your content and it comes to engaging, you definitely want to create engaging posts, and you want to engage with the people who are there. Engage with the people who are watching your stories. Engage with your likes. Engage with your comments. Engage with people who take your polls. I know that life is a little bit crazy and your work schedule may be off, but make sure you don't go to bed until you have served those people who are there. And I'm just giving you like a very simple kind of like vanilla message that I'm encouraging you to take and make it yourself, make it your own. But something that I would send to people every single day, especially new followers or people that maybe have been watching for a while and I haven't connected with. Thank you so much for following my hot mess of a life. Like I would say that. You may not say that, but my life is a hot mess most days. Does it seem a little crazy in your world today too? Has your routine changed a lot with all that's going on? Because if you come to my stories today, it's going to look a lot different than it did probably like 3 months ago, right? So my life is different. My story is different. My routine is different. And it's a really simple way to connect with people who are engaging in your content. All right. You can do this with new likes. You can do this with new follows. It doesn't matter. Just use your own voice. Use your own messaging and ask people questions. That's really important as always. Ask people questions. And the simplest question you can ask people right now is like, how is your life? How's it going over there? Like, where do you live? Is, just anything related to the virus, and be ready to really, truly, genuinely respond, not just convert it to an invite, but listen to people, connect with them. Another thing that I really want to stress to you guys is don't go silent. I've prayed about this. Like, honestly, I've prayed about this because I've heard different messages. I've heard different advice right now. But I have sought a lot of, obviously, like practical advice on this. And I've also done a lot of praying about it. And I just keep hearing God say to me, Rachel, I gave you a message. I gave you your part of the wall to build here. Show up and do it. Tweak your content a little bit, give more than you take, but keep showing up, because right now people are sitting at home. And like I say over and over, they are hungry for hope. Some people are lonely. Some people are sitting at home all alone. Some people are missing their community. Some people, we can't go to church right now. And yes, we have technology. Yes, we have all these amazing things that makes the situation so much different than it would have been 100 years ago. But you know what? I think social media is one of those good things that we can choose to use for good, and that we can continue to show up and encourage people with who we are, with our scripture and with hope and with what we're doing, right? So a doctor is not going to quit going to work and serving people because of the coronavirus. No, his job becomes even more important. And I kind of feel that way about what we're doing as coaches. We are offering health. We are offering community. We are offering workouts and that increased serotonin and all the things that come with that, but we're also offering a faith-based approach to it. So I think that my job and your job is so important. And also right now, views on Instagram and Facebook are going up. I know I keep hearing people say, I just got off social media for a while, but I know that my views on my stories are up. I know that my people coming to visit my page are up. And I read the statistic today that the views on lives on Instagram and Facebook are 40% higher right now than they have been. So that means people are coming, they're watching, they're listening, they're partaking, and they need what you have to offer. So yes, am I saying tweak your content? Absolutely. Like, I am not honestly posting a lot of call to action posts, but I am inviting in my stories. I am still telling people what I have to offer. I am still inviting to my 10 rounds worth the fight challenge group. I am still inviting to my full life project. That's what my general challenge group is called. I'm still inviting to coaching. And guess what? People are signing up. People are signing up just like they always have. Honestly, I'm at higher Success Club numbers this month than I have been in quite a few months. And that is just because, like, I am sitting here when I sit down to do my job, and I'm offering a place for people to talk, and they're genuinely asking me about what I'm doing, and I'm offering to help them through health and fitness. All right. So definitely when you are posting your content, I'm going to give you guys some ideas in just a minute. Make sure that you're tweaking it right now to serve your audience, not Patrice's audience, not Rachel's audience, but serve your audience. What do they need right now? And what do you have to give them through your squares, through your Instagram stories? And definitely I always operate by give, ask. definitely give more than you ask. And two, this is important, tell people that you are open for business. It's okay to say in a post, I've had a lot of people ask me if I'm still running my challenge groups right now during this crazy time. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. For anybody who wants to join, I have a place for you to connect. I have a place for you to plug in. I have a virtual gym to help you while your gym is closed. I'm still helping women build businesses. I'm still doing all the things. So if you need a place to plug in, I am here. I'm not going anywhere. Look at the link in my profile. Send me a message, whatever you want to do. But I'm just going to keep doing life and serving my family and serving my people. And if you want to join us, come on, right? So it's okay to say that you're still open for business in some way. I wouldn't make it a flashy post like, oh, March is ending, join my challenge group. Don't do that. Don't do that. But, share where you're at in life and just answer people's questions through your posts and through your stories. It's also a really good time to think outside the box. These are my two beautiful boys. It's really a good time to think outside the box. Ask for testimonials from clients. Like I reached out to a couple of gals today and I said, hey, would you be willing to just record like a 15-second video that can share my stories and tell me why our full life project, our challenge group, our community is really important to you right now. Like right now while everything is crazy, would you be willing to do that? And they were like, yeah, sure. So, you'll see those coming in my stories soon. It's also fun to just do something that maybe you would normally do. My kids aren't always home. And so like I can interview my kids. I can ask my kids questions about what we eat or just homeschooling or just something that's entertaining, but gives people a glimpse into my life and kind of changes up my content a little bit. Share family workout ideas. Obviously, you guys know we have those free workouts from Beachbody, but last week I recorded some workouts with my kids and I made the little carousel on my Instagram feed. And so it wasn't just about me, but it was also giving ideas for families who maybe don't work out with their kids, or maybe have never thought to work out with their kids, or maybe they wanted to, but they just didn't know what to do. And so I was serving my people. Nobody said, hey, I want to join your challenge group because they watched those videos, but it was still a way to get people active and moving. And that's my job here. Ask for tips about just this whole total change in landscape. Today in my stories, like my Henry will turn 11 on Thursday. And so I asked people, I was like, I'm not running to Hobby Lobby right now. Like I can't get to a party store. I've waited too late to order from Amazon. What are some fun ideas to make his birthday exciting and celebratory? And I got some great tips from people in my stories and it was engaging. So like look at your surrounding, look at what's going on right now and ask for people for tips. Again, people love to share tips. People love to tell you what to do. People love to give advice. Okay. So if you're not asking for it right now, I really feel like you're missing out on it. What's a great devotional to do with kids? What's a great idea to do with a toddler who won't sit still or won't sleep? Like just ask people for tips in this different type of situation that we're in. It's also a really good idea. Obviously, we should always be recognizing people, but recognize people who are inspiring you right now. I love to teach my team. This whole business is not just about me. It's not just about you. Like people want to see that you're a community. So recognize someone who's inspiring you right now. It doesn't have to be health and fitness related. It can be anything. If someone shares a great tip for homeschooling or just a great devotion or something, share it to your stories and recognize other people. Another thing, just thinking outside the box, I was just trying to come up with ideas before I hopped on here. Host a virtual mom's night out, Zoom. Tell your story. Invite people to learn about your coaching story. Who says you can't invite to coaching right now? I think if anything, it's popping women out of the woodwork who are maybe need that extra income, or maybe they realize they can't rely on their full-time job, or maybe they realize, hey, I'm at home. Like I really want to do something. Like I want to do something different. Host a virtual mom's night out and invite people to come. People miss community. They miss engaging with other women. And so these are just some ideas to kind of help you think outside the box right now and still serve while everything looks just a little bit different. Hold on just a second, you guys. I'm going to start. My team call is tonight. And I just got to start my Zoom, so I make sure I record it. They're going to be like, what is Rachel doing? Okay. Okay. So it's recording. Okay, sorry. Here's the second part. And if you guys have questions about any of this, please type it in the chat bar. I did not say that earlier, but ask me anything. Don't hesitate. And then another point that I wanted to make is don't stop selling. All right. And you may be like, Rachel, that sounds kind of like icky and just like businessy, but listen to me. People have time on their hands. There's so many people sitting at home. They're still getting paid. They're still, they have their benefits. They're probably not going anywhere. Our government just released a benefits package, or I can't remember what's called, a stimulus package, where, a lot of families are going to get some extra income to help them with this time. People are sitting at home with nothing to do. Their gym is closed. Their kids may be driving them a little bit crazy. Their spouse may be driving them a little bit crazy. They don't have anywhere to go. And, that you inviting them to a challenge group might be a bright spot in their day. Okay. So don't hesitate to continue inviting to your challenge group. It may look a little bit different. You may change the focus of your challenge group a little bit to meet the times and the demands, but don't stop inviting. If you do come across someone who's like, yeah, I'd really like to do something, but I don't know if my income's going to be there in a month, I'm not going to force someone or push them to buy anything that they don't feel like they have the money for. But you know what? We have 10 free workouts we can send to people. We have meal plans. You can run a free group with your team. You can do something to serve those people, but don't stop inviting to your challenge group and asking people to sign up for Beachbody On Demand, to try Shakeology. Like, honestly and truly, the value and what you have to offer is so much better than what a lot of people are already getting anyways, or what they were getting before their gyms closed. Coaching could change someone's future right now. I can't tell you how many people that I sent that message to from watching my stories, just like, hey, how's life going over there? Where are you at? What's your family situation like? And so many women have said, hey, like, what do you do? Like, what do you do? It looks like you have fun and you're into health and fitness and you just seem so joyful. And I just have an opportunity to share my story with them. People are looking for something right now that they can build for the future if something happens like this again. I am not preying on people's fears or their situations, but I am allowing the opportunity for the conversation to happen. All right. And the last thing, I heard this and I really like the way that it was said, and I'm living proof. There are really no shortage of sales to be made right now. And yes, you're in a business. Yes, you're building a business. It's okay to make sales, but just so long as you are backing it up with serving those people that buy something from you, all right? So there's no shortage of sales right now. It's just a shortage, honestly, of coaches showing up. And I see it. I see it across the board. I see coaches taking a break, like they're saying, and it's okay to back off if you need to. I'm not saying it's not okay to do that. You have to be present where you're at. But I have honestly had to shift my schedule, and I'm probably not working as focused as I normally am. But I know that when I sit down to do my work, that people are my mission, and God has given me this community to invite them to. And so I'm going to continue to invite them and ask them to invest in themselves through joining the challenge group. So don't quit inviting. Don't quit showing up for the people that you already have. That's really important too. Serve the people you already have, but continue to set those goals and go for them as a business owner. One of my last tips for you guys right now is to definitely seek inspiration and stay plugged in. Now, I say this very cautiously. If you are someone who compares yourself to other people really easily and you let it drag you down and you compare yourself and you're like, I'm not good enough, I can't do that, then you need to definitely prayerfully think about this and talk to somebody about it. I don't honestly follow a lot of coaches, because I can get sucked into that comparison trap. I'm very aware of that. I'm very aware of what God is refining, how God is refining me through that and teaching me about who I am in Him. So if you're not able to seek inspiration from other people, don't do it. But honestly, I don't really go to a lot of other coaches for inspiration. I like to follow like my favorite influencers, faith-based influencers, other health and fitness influencers. I listen to podcasts. I definitely read social media articles. I'm always looking for new ideas and new ways to share content. So, like if you are feeling just stale and stuck where you're at and you want some new ideas, new thoughts on how to share during this time, definitely go and quickly browse through some other people and look at how they take photos or look at what they're talking about, and just let it trigger some ideas in your own head, in your own life, on how you could maybe share a little bit differently during this time. All right, don't copy, don't do those things. I've done that. I've done it. I'm gonna say I'm guilty. I've copied posts very early on as a new coach, and I'm not proud of it, but I learned from it, and I'm here to teach you not to do that. Definitely get on your training calls, you guys. Like, definitely get on your calls and make sure that you are definitely seeking, like, soaking up the wisdom that your upline, that Team Beachbody has to give you. And team calls, like, I encourage you, don't miss your team calls. I'm preaching to the choir here, but you get me. Like, don't miss those calls. Like, this community right now is so important in helping you stay focused. If your team has power hours, like, get on them. If your team doesn't have power hours, like, I listen to the Beachbody champions, they are blowing it up with some really great power hours right now. They're really good and they're focused on just working through that business activity tracker. All right. And the other one obviously is the National Wake Up Call. Those are always value, very, very good content from a business standpoint, that are going to keep you focused. Like, I have been in this business 5.5 years. And if I don't stay plugged in, I kind of lose my mojo a little bit. I love hearing from other people. I love hearing from other coaches, other business owners, in just all shapes, sizes, and forms. It does not matter. Like, I fuel, my fire is fueled by listening to other people. And so make sure that you are plugged in, because you are honestly never alone in this business unless you choose to be. All right. And especially during this time. And this is one of my favorite, like, out of my 5.5 years of coaching, this is one of my favorite things that God has taught me. And I think it's applicable now just as much as it ever has been. You guys know Nehemiah. If you don't, go read that chapter. It's a killer book in the Bible. But it's all about Nehemiah rebuilding the wall around Jerusalem, right? And I love throughout the whole book that it's always talking about how people just rose up right where they were to build their part of the wall. Like, Nehemiah was like, come on, we got to rebuild this wall. And people, I love this verse where they said, let's start rebuilding. And their hands were strengthened to do this good work, you guys. And if you keep reading, you find that so-and-so built his part of the wall while so-and-so was on the other side building his part of the wall. You each have a different role and a different piece of the puzzle when it comes to Team Beachbody, when it comes to challenge groups, when it comes to serving women through faith and fitness. Like, you have a very unique position, a very unique story, and a very unique opportunity to serve people right where you're at. So it's really important not to compare to so-and-so. It's really important not to look at somebody and say, she's doing it better. Like, there is no point or purpose in doing that. It's crazy times, yes, but it's crazy times for everybody. So just share your part of the story right now, your piece of the coronavirus, your piece of what's happening in your life and how health and fitness is making an impact right where you are today. So I kept that really short on purpose, because there really isn't a whole lot more to say other than, just keep doing what you're doing, but tweak it so that, you are definitely serving people more than ever. And you are also still staying focused on those goals for your business, because there's nothing wrong with that so long as you're serving people. All right. All right. Yeah. So that is really all that I have. I can give you more examples or stuff like that, but it's really just sitting down and taking action. Sitting down and taking action. So do you guys have any questions for me before we end the call? That was a really short call.
Short but like power packed. Thank you so much. Seriously, the practical tips and just reminding us, like you said, just like doctors and other people that are going out and seeking to serve, like that's what we're here for. So it's not the time to be silent. I know a lot of times it's like, yeah, but I don't want to be insensitive. Well, then don't be, right? Like we get to control how we're approaching this and how we're talking to people, reaching out for prayer. That's how my conversations have been going is, hey, how's it going over there? Like, that simple question I don't have to say, hey, what are your thoughts on the coronavirus? What's the corona? How's it work? It's simply, hey, how's it going over there? And there's this is like this understood and also this like unity that's also happening. I don't know if you've noticed that, but look at all the people that are sharing, whether they're sharing their activities that they're doing with their kids or how they're handling, network marketing or not. Like there's this unity that we get to be a part of. We get to build our part of the wall in that. So it's not the time to be quiet and back away. Where is our heart? Check your heart. As long as you're showing up knowing that your number one role is servant and serving, then that's what it's about. So thank you seriously so much for that. Does anybody have any questions? You want to expand on anything else?
There is a question, but let me say too, just to piggyback or just kind of to hone in on that more, people want to talk. Like people don't want to be left alone. I think that's often our fear as coaches is, oh, I'm going to bother them or whatever. I mean, that's never really true, I don't think, but that's our reality. That's what we think, but people want to talk right now. Like people want to talk. And am I doing these things just for business purposes? I mean, I wouldn't be here without a business. I wouldn't be here serving people without this business, honestly. I don't think, unless God had different plans, but this was his plan. But, like people that you connect with today, that you're starting those relationships with today, I'm not telling you they're going to run and join your challenge group, but they're going to trust you. They're going to trust you more than the person who's like, hey, you should be using oils because you're going to get the coronavirus, right? Like that's not cool. But if you ask people how they are and like how you can encourage them or pray for them, like and genuinely do it, like that's where the trust grows. Amanda, you said when is your ideal time for a focus? Yeah, I feel like I've gone back to the beginning of my business right now where I totally worked in like 10-20 minute pockets. So right now my kids are, I don't know what they're doing, honestly. Their dad's here somewhere. But like I just work around them. Like they have their own schoolwork. They're pretty efficient. I do have to help with some things, but it's definitely pockets. Like if I'm not working from that list of a business activity tracker, then it's not going to happen. Like I can't just say, like I have to before I go to bed tonight, like I have to do the things I've told you to do tonight. I have to do those things because they haven't happened. But I would say, Amanda, that if you have kids at home, you're just gonna have to have that list and have somebody to hold you accountable. And when you sit down to find followers, set a timer, set 10-15 minutes, boom, when it's done, you move on to something else, right? So like I would definitely create that structure and remove the distractions so that whenever you are going to work, you are just like focused on that as much as you can. Okay. I don't know if that helped at all, but Ashley, tips on getting people to answer your polls. Honestly, I don't have a lot of luck with polls, not like real. I don't have people flocking to me. There's a lot of robots out there right now, which is frustrating. But I put them out there from time to time. But honestly, my biggest tip for stories is I don't care if they vote in my poll or not. If they watch my stories, they're going to get a message from me. Yeah. Because again, that's just like they just looked at you in the eyes. Like, you're at a ball game, you look at somebody, they look you in the eyes, and you're not going to be like, I'm going to say, hey, how are you? Right. So if they watch my stories, they get a message from me. Amanda, you can't stay focused in pockets with 2 under 3 right now. No joke. Like, can you ask your husband to give you 20 minutes here or there? I have no idea what your home life is like. Don't pretend to know, but like structure is amazing. I love structure, but I would ask for help. I would ask for help for sure if you can. She's look at that baby. That baby's worth showing up for, so don't give up.
Right. Right. Any other questions? Pick your brain about anything else? Nothing? Any new coaches? Been in the game almost 6 years. That's a long time. Lots of consistency right there. And you know what I'm finding? The people that joined me this month are people that I've already had conversations with. I had a lot of new people join my free group and things like that. And I can see, future. But there's people that have reached out and been like, I can't get to my gym. Like, now's the time. And that's who we need to be. Like, we need to be that coach that our people reach out to at such a time like this, right? But in order for that to happen, like Rachel said, we have to be here. We have to be saying, hey, I'm here. I'm here. I'm not preying off of you. I'm showing up. I'm doing what I always do, what I do every single day. That's not going to change. I'm going to be here. And that's what people want to see too. So just make sure that you're here and showing up.
Yep.
Love that. Yes, it was awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Welcome. You're welcome. Yay. All right, you guys. Well, go get them. Just be strong, pray hard, and trust God with the rest. Okay?
That's right.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye, you guys.
Have a good night.
Good night.